Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I go by One Sheep Compadre and you're watching Sheep Stocks TV, where on my channel we're talking about savings, investing, and politics. Well, I didn't want to do a face-to-face video until a couple weeks from now because I'm on vacation. But I'm watching a lot of these YouTubers on here, and they're trying, to me it feels like they're trying to get people to choose one over the other when it comes to saving and investing in order to build wealth. And I'm going to break it down on why you should be both, not one or the other. Now, when it comes to investing, that is where you build your wealth. But at the same time, you have to save in order to prepare yourself for those rainy days, those emergencies that seem to pop up every now and then. So, let me break it down to you. Let's talk about savings and why saving is just important as investing. Now, we all know, we all heard the stories. Everyone keeps saying it, that you put your money in the bank, you only get 0.01%. We all know that. That's nothing new. That's not something that just been figured out yesterday. Okay? Now, the reason for saving is to help you to deal with life situations when they come, and they will come, in a way where you don't have to stress yourself out and at the same time have to go to somebody else to take out a loan to pay on something that you can probably take care of on your own. And I'm going to give you an example. Now, before I went on my vacation, I had to get my AC diagnosed. And once it was diagnosed, the guys who came were trying to charge me $4,000 to replace the compressor. Now, if I would have went ahead and took credit out, and when I say credit is when I decided to take what they were offering, okay? Because they were offering three different scenarios. One was for 7,000, another one for 8,000, and another one for 10,000. That is after the fact that they said all they needed was a compressor, and that would be maybe a couple weeks wait, and that will add up to 4,000. Now, I asked them how much would it be if they just went ahead and just gave me a new AC unit. So they gave me three scenarios. They gave me, if I was to buy maybe something cheaper, that would probably be like $7,000, a new AC unit, and they will help me finance it, and that would be for a particular time with interest, and it will accumulate up to 7,000, 8,000. Then they gave me another one for 8,000, and so on and so forth for the 10,000, right? So this is the reason why you should avoid taking loans and credit, and try to, when you decide on things, decide on something when it's your money and not someone else's money. Because if you try to buy something with your own money, you may look at it a little bit different instead of trying to use credit. Because when you use credit, you may use something and you wouldn't put too much thought into it because it's somebody else's money, right? But when you're using your own money, you look at it a little bit different. So I told the persons that I will go and get a second opinion, right? So they was still trying to get my service, but I told them I'll call them. I'm gonna have to get a second or third opinion, because before I decide on buying anything, I always look for a second or third opinion before I decide on buying something, right? So the guy left, but before he did, he said that he can probably fix the AC if I keep my fingers crossed. He'll go in there and see he can fix it. He'll charge me $500. So it went from 10, 9, 7, $4,000 to $500. You believe that? So $500 and see if they can charge it up and get it running again. So I still told them, let me get a second opinion. So they left, they came back to my house, knocked on my door, rung my doorbell, and asked me if I would be interested in a AC unit that was on the showroom floor for $6,000. I told them I would still need a second opinion. If I decide, I will call them back. I never called them back. But luckily, I knew a neighbor who knew a friend who knew a little bit of something about AC units. So he came by my house. He checked out the unit. All it needed was Freon. Once he put the Freon in, the place got cool. It was so cold. I was able to sleep all through the night. So that just goes to show you when you use your money opposed to using somebody else's money. Now, if you use somebody else's money, you may not look the same with that amount of money as it was your own. You probably may not think twice, and you'll go ahead and take that special, quote unquote, special that they're giving you, right? But yet they're not talking about that interest added on to how much you're gonna be paying. You see how that goes? So that's the reason why you should save, because you can avoid certain stress. You can avoid taking out money to buy something when you have your own money. That'll lead to less stress, and that leads for you to be able to sleep at night. You see how that goes? It's not to build wealth. It's to build security in case of emergency. That's how it works. So anyone tell you shouldn't save, they don't know what they're talking about, because they too busy using leverage, and we're going to talk about that next. So this is the reason why you should save. All right, now this is the reason why you should invest. So everyone knows that you don't get a high interest rate from having your money in the bank. We all know this, right? Where you get your high interest rate, where you make your money, where you build your wealth is through investing. Now, when it comes to investing, you do not need to use leverage. You do not need to borrow money. You can use your own money. And when you use your own money, it doesn't have to be thousands and thousands of money you have to have. You don't have to have $100,000. You don't have to have $1 million. You don't have to have $1 billion to invest. You can start with $20, $50, $100. It can be weekly. It can be monthly. Whatever works for you. But at the end of the day, that's where you get your wealth. That's where you get that high interest rate. Okay? And if you ask me, the best way to invest is through dividends. Anything else, options, buying on margin, individual stocks, I mean, if you willing to put in the time and effort and study charts, which I think charts is a waste of time if you ask me, the best way to build wealth, and to me it's the most savage way, because it leads to compound interest, and everyone knows that's the eighth wonder of the world, right? So the best way to build wealth is through dividend investing and through DRIP, because that's reinvested into your stocks. It can be monthly, annually, it can be quarterly, you name it. It's up to you how you want to do it. But I usually deal with ETFs because that allows me to get a company that has many companies in that particular stock. Okay, it's like a basket of companies where you don't have to go out there and search, and it has many different sectors within that stock. It has technology, health, you name it, from pharmaceuticals, technology, banking, medicine, a whole plethora of different companies within your stock. So if one goes up and one goes down, you still covered either way, because each day it fluctuates, and you don't have to worry so much about it going down, because it's always going to come back up, and you're always going to get paid a dividend. So when it goes down, you just buy the dip. Now this is when you actually buy the dip. It's when you're a long-term investor, not with crypto, not with Dogecoin. That is short-term investing, and that is when you get a certain point, when it comes down, that's when you sell. Do not try to buy the dip. You're wasting time and energy. I'm telling you, people, do not buy into these people telling you to buy the dip on crypto and Dogecoin. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of your money. You need to invest in stocks that are long-term investments, not short-term. When you do short-term, when you gamble, is when you reach a certain point and you sell. That's how you play that game. When it comes to long-term, that's the only time you buy the dip. And when it comes to crypto, that is not long-term. That's short-term. That is gambling. Do not buy the dip. Sell your winnings. Put it in something more diversified that pays you a dividend each month, quarterly or annually. And just keep it moving automatically. Just put money each month and use that money to invest. That's how you use both of those strategies. You need both, not one or the other, to help build wealth. Remember, saving is there to keep you from being put back into debt. Investing is to help you build your wealth. You see how it goes hand in hand? You can't do one without the other. Anyone tells you to choose one or the other, do not listen to them. Okay? Become a subscriber. Share this with family and friends who really want to build wealth without using leverage, because remember, if you're using leverage, you do not own all of the proceeds. And this is the name of the game, is to own everything, not a fraction. So put a comment down below if you agree or not. That's fine. We can have a discussion. Okay? And don't forget to smash that like button, and on your way out, hit that notification bell for my latest content. You'll probably won't see me until the next couple weeks because I'm still on vacation here in Jamaica. Until then, have a great day.